Prophecy, timeless heroes.
I can't believe he's dead.
He is not dead. He is merely in an endless sleep.
Endless sleep? Give me a sec, I got this.
Oh, protectors, great protectors! You have awakened me. You heard my whispers and fulfilled the prophecy of heroes.
Oh, yeah, the Toe were great. You really should have been here and met them. Alright, so, let's go home. Hello everyone and welcome to the recent review. Today we're going to be looking over set number 70795, Mask Maker vs. Skull Grinder. The set contains approximately 171 pieces, was released in summer of 2015, and during time of release was approximately $30. Alright, we have a 2-pack. We have both these sets, they're in the same box, which reminds me... Go on. You knew this was going to happen. That's right, we actually, for the first time, have a box. That's right, it's got corners, it's not weird, doesn't look like Buzz Lightyear's spaceship. Look at it, it's beautiful. So beautiful, in fact. It's going to come right back. Alright, much better. There's the box. Look up online what it looks like. So anyway, here we go. We have the actual set, and I'm going to go ahead and start off with my disclaimer. Right off the bat, any pro or con or opinion that you hear here does not necessarily mean that it is my opinion or I agree with it. Just because it's here, don't immediately assume that, please. The majority, vast majority, unless I explicitly say of the pros and the cons here, are either A, community opinions, which I am reiterating here, or B, observations that I have made that I can replicate here. So please, unless I explicitly say, don't assume it's my opinion and that I agree with it. I will let you know if I do. Understood? Alright, let's continue on with the review. Starting off, not with the mask, but with Skull Grinder. Now, a lot of places call him Kulta, primarily because that's what he was called in a catalog. However, I am not going to refer to him as that here because I'm not 100% sure that's actually his name. But we'll get into that another time, maybe on the podcast. So this is Skull Grinder. And as we can see here, the color scheme is actually rather consistent, comprising generally of gunmetal, silver, gray, and orange. And that's perfectly fine. He's got printing right here, and he pulls off the skeleton motif, what many assume to be generally rather well. The main fault that people have with him is actually how he looks in regards to his armor. Because you see, he has the bone pieces, of which he has 4 of. He has the bone pieces, which are really, really skinny and really, really gappy. And then you have these really large pauldrons right here. These really large knee pads. Then you also have them on his shoulders, and they go from bulky to skinny. And he has really awkward, places of bulk and then skin-iness. And some people don't actually like that a whole lot. Speaking of gappiness, however, that is something that these armor pieces do cause. There are some gaps. You can see there's a lot of, there we go, a lot of gappage right over here. Right here, you can see right through there. However, the biggest issue is with his torso. As you can see right there, his chest armor sticks out a lot. To the point where you can't really have the head forward, because then he has no more neck. So the neck has to come up like that. But then you have this. So a lot of people have a great issue with that. You can lower it. You can, probably flatten it. But that's how it is. Now, on the flip side, he does have some sort of back armor. It's actually rather flush with the gearbox instead of what a lot of the Toa Masters do. and they have it kind of on the gearbox, so it's kind of flowing off, almost like a fall. So there is that. Speaking of the gearbox, it is modified in the way that it has these really large shoulders, as you can see that right there. And you turn the gears, and his arms will swing, like so. However, if you guys remember Galley from this year, Master of Water, then you guys can probably tell what the main issue is with this guy. It's that he has a balance issue, and it's a balance issue with his staff. However, this is not only with his staff, but the lack of friction that he has. The friction on his arms is twofold. He's got, or at least it's too deep. He's got one friction joint there and one there. And he's got all the friction-making joints there. But anyway, he's got 2 gears that cause friction. However, that's not enough. This is an incredibly heavy staff, which is exactly the issue that Master of Water Galley had when she was in her, I guess, adrenaline mode with the large trident. This guy has almost like a club, and it doesn't stay up. So the only counterbalance is this thing here, and let's be honest, that is not a counterbalance. So what you can do, you can pose it kind of like that, and to a degree it will stay up if you're careful. However, generally, it doesn't. It does not like to cooperate, so posing can be kind of difficult. As far as stability is concerned, he's fine. Like I said earlier, the color scheme is consistent, and he does have this unique kind of horn thing going on. So, that about sums it up. Some other minor issues people may have are the ball joints here, the fact that this is yellow, the blue pins on a primarily red-orangish set. So, there's that. He's not exactly the most thrilling of the Skull villains, but for a 2-pack set, he does what he does. He does his job pretty much fine. That's the general community consensus. So I'm going to go ahead and put him aside, and I'm going to go ahead and bring out Ekimu. Now we know his name is Ekimu. This is the fabled mask maker. So as we can see here, we actually have a lot of gold. The color scheme, I'm pretty sure the design process went set, animations, and then we got to see the set. However, I'm not 100% sure. I'm pretty sure that is the case. That's normally how I would expect them to go. So if so, we first saw him in the animations, really early on, October, New York Comic Con of 2014. We saw this guy, Ekimu, brother of Makuta. He essentially is how he is in the animations. There is very little difference, to be perfectly honest. So they did a really good job replicating that. As far as the set is concerned, the color scheme is incredibly consistent. We have some silver, some gray, but it's primarily just transparent blue and gold. That's essentially all this set is. Now this is a protector build with a gearbox on the back. So right off the bat, we have a function, and that is in his right arm, the Hammer of Power. And it works like so. The thing to note here is he's got 3 of these friction gears. For one arm with the tiniest hammer a character like this could hold. 3 of these for 1 of these. This is the main issue with this guy. That he doesn't need those. You could take those extra 2 and put them on Skull Grinder. Like 1 on each arm. That would help Skull Grinder a lot. Heck, you could just put both of those on the arm with his trident, and boom, you're done. Issue fixed. But unfortunately, he has 3, Skull Grinder does not. But in any case, that is the issue I have heard of. In other other news, we have these. These aren't new to us. They are not new pieces. They are relatively young as far as the United States is concerned, North America, because they've only shown up once before in a Hero Factory set, Queen Beast. But prior to that, they showed up in the kind of Fire and Ice Chima construction builds that were exclusive to Europe. But they do look really nice. They have a really nice melding effect, and that's really cool. He doesn't really have any back armor. The mask is what many believe to be a rather nice meld. It looks kind of greenish in the center there, but that is one thing. He also has his eyes, which are green, and that's the other function, as well as Skull Grinder. You just hit the back of the mask and... Oh, yeah, I forgot about this. So, his head, because it's a protector build, and his head is on a protector body, well, he has worse upward head articulation than Liwa does. And I'm not joking. Look. There you go. If you put it down, then yeah, you can get the mask come off, but... Very interesting. So other than that, the build is generally stable. You may or may not like this leg design. The torso is kind of a mixture of things. The one that you're really going to recognize it as is the Protector Fire. He takes a lot of cues from the Protector Fires. You know, the torso, the legs, so on and so forth. The arms, you know, he does have adequate articulation, which is fine, as well as Skull Grinder. Now the hammer does something really cool. So aside from being just a swinging hammer, you can also go ahead and turn the back here to fire this gun. Now it blends in really nice, and it works just as well, just as expected. That is a really, really cool hammer. And that generally sums up oh, whoopsie daisy, I almost forgot. His shield, that spins too. It has a really cool effect because it has this rim piece. And I believe this is a decorative piece from either Lego Princesses or Lego Friends. I'm not 100% sure which it is. It's from one of those two, I'm fairly confident. But it spins rather nicely. You know, it's a general saw. Here you go. He can hold it normally off to the side. And it works really nice. It's a really cool aesthetic. So, there you go. That is Ekimu. Now, for my personal favorite part of this set. The Mask of Creation. My goodness. I gotta get a close-up of this. This is not doing it justice. Quite honestly, this is not doing it justice either. Nothing but being with this mask in person does it justice. It is quite honestly one of my favorite pieces from this year. Personally speaking, this is a beautiful looking mask. Now it does come with this stand. You can build a stand. This is one of the few times I've seen general system in a construction set. It comes with this nice light blue kind of stand, kind of like a Ekimu, a clear transparent rod, and then this Technic thing here. Now the instructions tell you to go ahead and take these two clips and you put them like so, right in the centerpiece here. But as you can probably tell, it doesn't work out so well unless you very carefully, you know, flop it upward. Like, come on, like so. So the easiest way to fix this is just to put it in between this piece and this piece right here. So that little crevice right there. And then you just slide it on, and it's malleable from that point on. Looks fantastic. The detail work is exquisite. The only issue that I personally have with it is right here, it kind of cuts off, but that's the way it is. So personally speaking, and from a community standpoint, this is a really nice mask. I really, really like it, and the community does too. I'm going to go ahead and show you guys what it looks like on Ekimu. And there you have it, the mask maker with the mask creator. Or mask of creation, creators, whatever, you get it. So a lot of people actually don't like how this looks on Ekimu, and they prefer to have the protector mask on him, because it is much more detailed than anything else on this set, or this part of the set. So a lot of people prefer just to leave that on the stand. Personally speaking, I don't mind it at all. I think it looks fine. So it's totally up to personal opinion in that regard. Now, some of you clever fellows will notice that yes, I did actually build this wrong. This piece, this black piece here, was actually reversed on the set. I went ahead and I corrected that. I apologize profusely. It didn't really affect the set, but I just want to point that out and apologize for that error. That is totally on me. So, but other things that are on me would be the completion of this video. That is generally a review of Mask Maker versus Skull Grinder. What do you guys think of this set? Do you guys like this set? Do you guys dislike this set? Personally speaking, I would recommend it since it is a great value whichever way you cut the cake. You get 2 characters which can battle, you get a really cool mask, you get a lot of pieces. Overall, it's a generally great value. But what do you guys think? Let me know either in the comments below or on the TTV message boards at board.ttvpodcast.com. And if you want to see a subjective written review when it is up, go ahead and click right there. It'll take you right to the TTV podcast website. Thank you all very much for watching, and let me know if I messed up on anything, missed anything, or you feel I should have mentioned something in the 2 aforementioned places. See you all next time.